Hello, Captains, and welcome to the Age of Discovery. It is now October 9th, 2018, and Star Trek Online has just launched the latest update to the game. It is calling Age of Discovery. In this video, we are going to go into the game, and I am going to show you all the new things that you can do with this Age of Discovery update. I will go over all the brand new things that are available, what you click on and where you go to actually start the new missions or to start the character creation or to experience the new content available for Age of Discovery. Before we jump into the game, however, this is the website StarTrekOnline.com and the official announcement of Age of Discovery, and I wanted to read it first before we dive into the game so that you are aware of Cryptic's plan for Age of Discovery, because apparently this is not just one big update all coming out at once. This is in fact going to be in parts. This is a part one, and there will be more multiple parts coming out with more pieces to the puzzle, more content in Age of Discovery, something a little bit different than they normally do. So let's read this. All right, it says, Captains, welcome to Age of Discovery. This is a landmark event for Star Trek Online, as it marks the first time that the game has run in parallel with a live Trek television show. We are already experiencing fantastic new synergies, collaborating closely with CBS and the show writers. Captains will experience this right away in a reimagined Federation starting experience, working alongside Captain Sylvia Tilly, voiced by Discovery's Mary Wiseman, as players set out on an epic multi-release adventures. In Age of Discovery's maiden voyage, players will journey to iconic locations from Star Trek Discovery, exploring the depths of the dilithium mines of Corvan II, boarding the new experimental Crossfield-class starship, the USS Glenn, and defending Starbase 1 from a fearsome attack by the Klingon House of Dagor. Captains will also come face-to-face with the vicious Jeula, matriarch of the House of Mokai and sister of Tekuvma, who will stop at nothing to reunite the Klingon Empire. This, however, is just the beginning of Age of Discovery. Multiplayer missions, formerly known as queues, have been expanded and rebranded as Task Force Operation, TFO. This change is certainly not in name only. Throughout AOD, we will be introducing exciting new TFOs that advance the narrative while remastering and recreating others. This kicks off with an all-new TFO, Defense of Starbase 1, followed shortly thereafter by our first featured task force operation, Battle at the Binary Stars. In this 3-week event, players will have an opportunity to earn exclusive reward, fighting side by side with fellow captains in one of the most important battles in Federation history. Additionally, Task Force Operations introduce a new engagement feature, which offers captains big bonus payouts for supporting other players by joining random TFOs. The new random TFO feature further ensures that all captains will easily find groups to experience all the diverse TFO content in the game. Is there a particular TFO that you have never played or have trouble finding groups for? We've got you covered here as well. Select the task force operation that you want to play, and it will be quickly filled by other players seeking out the random TFO bonuses. Stay tuned, as there is much more in the works for this evolving feature. So there will be as updates to this whole TFO business as well, as you can see. We've also completely overhauled the mission journal, and I do have a video about that. Check it out where I compared it on Tribble. I will look at it in this video today, and we'll look at the mission journal and see what it looks like. Careful handling has gone into this undertaking, ensuring that our very best stories are presented to players early in the leveling experience. Some episodes have or will be undergoing a remastering process, while others have become optional. Another big change here is the removal of level requirements. With the exception of certain pivotal episodes for training and continuity purposes, players will no longer be level gated in the experience. Captains will also notice that many previously gated task force operations are now unlocked while leveling. This gives newer players greater access to play with friends and get a taste of the in-game experience with a huge head start on reputation marks. And speaking of reputations, this system has been expanded in Age of Discovery as well. All current reputations have been raised to Tier 6. There are fantastic rewards to be found here, including improved reputation traits, damage improvements for reputation weaponry, fleet ship modules, vanity materials, account-wide reputation gear discounts, and more. In short, building this first installment in Age of Discovery and working with Mary Wiseman has been an amazing experience for our development team. Additionally, we want to thank you all for the great feedback and continued support. And here's the parts that I was talking about. It says, while we have many more stories and features planned in the coming months, so there are going to be more stories and features coming, we are thrilled to be launching Age of Discovery Part 1 next week. Thank you again and look forward to seeing you in-game very soon. Now that part confuses me just a little bit because today is October 9th and Age of Discovery has been launched and it's in the game. Yet they're saying something called Age of Discovery Part 1 will be next week. Did they just write that ahead of time maybe with this article and they meant to make that October 9th? Or is there literally a new Part 1 of episodes or something coming next week? I'm not really sure what that means, but it gives the illusion or the suggestion that we're going to see new things coming in or as part of Age of Discovery in parts later on. And it even says there will be more stories and feature plans in the coming months. So they do have more things planned definitely for Age of Discovery. So what we have today is what we have today, but it's not all there's going to be. There's going to be more. Now, it does say one thing up here, that it's a Lockstep. They're very proud of the this thing, that it's Lockstep runs in parallel with a live Trek television show. That's cool and all, except, of course, Star Trek Discovery Season 2 doesn't start until January. So really, it's not lockstep with the show. If they did that, they would have to kind of wait to release this in January when the show starts. Then that would be completely lockstep. Just a minor little thing there. After we go over everything that's in the game today, I'll give you my final impressions, but I'll just go ahead and give you a preview of my final impression already, because I have logged into the game, and just note I have looked at a lot of these things already so that I would know what to show you. And excuse me, one of my first impressions really is I kind of wish they had waited these next couple of months until January to give us a more complete Age of Discovery launch or update, rather than releasing it in parts over the next several months. It sounds like it's going to take them several months to get everything out. So why not just go ahead and wait until January when Season 2 of Discovery actually starts, and then be finished with everything for Age of Discovery update, and then release it all at once in one huge package so it's all there at one time. Because right now it seems very incomplete. That is my first impression. It just seems very incomplete. But I'm going to let you decide. We're going to go in right now in the game, and I will show you what is new, what you can do, how to navigate Age of Discovery, and all of that. So stand by as we switch here from the browser to in-game. Hello, Captains, and welcome to Star Trek Online. We are now in the game. This is the new Age of Discovery update. So the first thing I wanted to bring you to and show you is this, the character selection menu, because this is where you can start a whole new experience with Age of Discovery, and this is going to be a big part of this update, and that is to choose a new character and start a new faction. And that new faction is going to be the Discovery era faction. Well, they don't call it a faction, but we'll call it a faction just for the sake of needing a term to explain it. Because here's what will happen. From your character creation menu, just as you see here, you will click New Character. And then what will come up is this. We now have a brand new option or, quote, faction to start. And that is called DSC Starfleet. Discovery Starfleet, or Discovery Era. So let's read it when we hover over it here. It says, charted in 2161 by the United Federation of Planets, Starfleet has a mission to boldly go where no one has gone before. In the 23rd century, it is the exploratory, scientific, diplomatic, and defense agency of the Federation. A primary mandate includes the pursuit of peaceful exploration and the search for sentient life and new civilizations. The headquarters of Starfleet Command is found on planet Earth in the Sol System. So this is a 23rd century playthrough. Yes, similar to TOS Starfleet, a 23rd century playthrough. In fact, the descriptions for both of these are exactly the same. They didn't even bother to change the description. So we don't exactly know what year that it's starting at, although I think that will be revealed as we do play the mission. But starting off here, you really don't have what idea the specific year, how the TOS Starfleet differs from DSC Starfleet. There's not a lot of differentiation there between the two, because as you can see, the explanation for both is exactly the same. So that's something they need to work on, is to, you know, give people who are new to Star Trek an idea of what the differences are, so they know if they want to play that faction or not. Also, they need to let us know if it's a whole faction or a half faction or a very quick faction, because remember, the Dominion faction, it starts you off as level 60. You're only 5 levels away from max level, but it doesn't say that here. And that's a little disturbing, because if you're a brand new player playing the game, you've never played this before, you wouldn't know that there are differences in the leveling. Like, you start with the Dominion faction, you're going to start it in-game, but you start DSC Starfleet, TOS Starfleet, or any of these others, you're going to start at a low level, and you can work your way all the way up to level 65, you know, one grade at a time. But it doesn't say that here, and it doesn't specify that. So there needs to be a little bit better descriptioning about what each faction actually gives you, because if you just look at it like this on the whole from the outside, it looks like they're all the same, that they would be the same amount of leveling and all that, but they're not. And in fact, we know from playing the TOS Starfleet or TOS Starfleet thing that, you know, you start in the 23rd century, but then you're quickly transported just after a few missions up to the 25th century, and now you're in a modern game. And that's probably what they're going to do with DSC Starfleet. But again, it doesn't say that here, so you don't know that that's the experience. That's how it's going to work. And then with the Romulan Republic, it doesn't even tell you that you're going to have to align with the KDF or Starfleet, and it's really just like a half faction. So these factions here, they have a good idea at heart, but they all work so differently. Starfleet faction is so much different than the Romulan faction, which is so much different from the TOS Starfleet, which is so much different probably from the DSC Starfleet, and so much different from the Dominion. So I was just thinking about that, because it's just very important, and they don't really make a lot of that clear. But anyway, I digress. This is what's new with the DSC Starfleet faction, whatever you want to call it. You will get a human to play, or a Vulcan, or an alien, where you can, of course, customize the alien to look however you want. And you can choose between male or female. The one alien that they do not have here, that I think they should have here, if they're trying to be lockstep with, quote, Discovery, then one of the aliens I believe they should have here is the first officer. You know, the really tall alien. I forget his name, but you know the one I'm talking about. The one that plays the really tall alien in the first season of Discovery. Very prominent. Has can sense fear or can sense when death is coming or when people are going to die or something like that. Whatever his species is, I would have liked to have seen a pre-generated alien type of him. That should be here, because you got the male, you got the human, you got the Vulcan. That makes sense, and you should definitely have him because he was very prominent. His species, it was very prominent in Discovery, so people might want to play as that character or as that species in the game. So that is one more alien they should have here, and they should probably include more too, because I mean we are talking about the 23rd century. Andorians would be all over the place. Should definitely have a playable Andorian. Species like that in this time period should definitely exist. So when I look at the playable species that are available under DSC Starfleet, it just looks sparse to me. They really just have two, human and a Vulcan, and then the alien, of course, is on everything, and you can customize the alien. But yeah, they need more pre-generated characters that you can play, or alien types that you can play, because let's see, the Dominion, of course, has the two types of Jem'Hadar, because that's all there is. TOS Starfleet. See, TOS Starfleet at least gives you an Andorian and the Tellarite, and then the Vulcan and the human. Romulan Republic, of course, gives you Riemann, Romulan Liberated Borg, and Klingon, of course, you've got not just Klingons, but you've got Nausicaan, you got Orion, you got all kinds of different ones that are Klingon, and of course Starfleet, you have just a tremendous amount of different alien types, and then this one, basically just two there. So yeah, there should be an Andorian here, there should be a Tellarite, there should be that alien from Discovery, there should be those aliens to play here on the Discovery side. There just really should be. Then you come over here and you've got the choices of engineering, science, or tactical, just like any of the other, quote, factions. And one thing you will find extremely disturbing, and has always bothered me about the Discovery uniforms, is the fact that the color schemes are not very determinate. It's hard to tell what career type you are by the color, because the color of the uniform stays blue. The only thing that changes are these stripes and this here and these symbols and your badge. Engineering is a darker gold, tactical is a lighter gold, science is silver. It's not enough coloring to discern the difference. That's why I really like the TOS uniforms. When you see the TOS uniforms, which is what they should be wearing on Discovery, by the way, science is blue, tactical is gold, engineering is red. It's vibrant. You can tell the difference in color. Even on the modern Starfleet ones, science, blue, engineering, gold, tactical, red. You can see it. But you come to the Discovery uniform, you've got dark gold, light gold, silver. It's just more difficult. The Discovery uniforms should be these TOS uniforms. It just should be. We know the mistakes they've made on Discovery, but they should be wearing this uniform. Anyway, back to Discovery Starfleet. That is what you choose there, of course. You choose your species. You can go through the appearance. And it is a 2250s, so that gives you a little bit of an idea of what the year is. It is the 2250s, so right there, definitely mid-23rd century. And that's the only uniform type you can select. Just overuse of the Starfleet logo with the Discovery uniform. I mean, come on, having your boot latches have the Starfleet logo on the side, it's too much, because when you look at the uniform, you realize that this pattern here, it's made up of little Starfleet logos. I mean, there's just too many Starfleet logos in this uniform. You've got the patterning, which is made up of Starfleet logos. You got the boot latches down here, which are made of, I guess they're not latches, I don't even know what they are. On both sides, you got Starfleet logos. You don't need that many Starfleet logos all over you. You just don't. It's gaudy. It's gaudy. It just doesn't look good. And then, of course, you choose the background for your character, and then you hit engage. And that is going to bring you into a discovery tutorial. And then from there, a playable episode or two. And I don't know how many, but I think there's only about 2 missions that are up right now. And then, I don't know what happens. It just dumps you into modern times. I don't know how it works yet. I haven't played through it. I will do a playthrough of it, but I haven't done it yet. So I'm not sure what's going to happen, but I do know there's the tutorial, which is going to be, you're going to be led by Tilly, Cadet Tilly. And then there's 2 missions you get to play, and then that's it. And I'm going to show you, because we're going to go in the mission journal, I'm going to show you there's only 2 discovery missions. So it's very short and very kind of incomplete. Seems incomplete to me anyway. Okay, let's back out of this and let's go in-game on one of my regular characters. But this is what you're going to want to do. If you want to experience the whole discovery experience that is in Star Trek Online now, this is what you want to go do. You want to start a new character, play the tutorial, play the 2 new missions as a discovery character, see what starship they give you. I guess this is the starship you're going to get. And see what that experience is like. And I'm going to do that myself. I just haven't done it yet. So that's one of the things that you can do with the Age of Discovery update. So there are some other things you can do as well as an already established level 65 character. This is my main character, the Doctor. He is level 65. He's a science character. So this is all end-game content I'm showing you now. But other than starting that, that new playthrough, as a in-game character, I can go here to the new mission journal under episodes. I can select at the very end now Age of Discovery, and I can play those new missions. So I don't have to be a Discovery character or faction to play the Discovery missions. I just have to make sure that I play the previous missions before that to have access to them. For example, you'll see there's no hail button on these, and that's because I, on this character, have not played the Gamma Quadrant missions yet. So you have to actually play, see, when I hail storm clouds gather and I play that, then the next one will unlock, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And then once I finish all of the Gamma Quadrant missions on this character, then the Age of Discovery missions will open up for me. So if you come to the Age of Discovery tab here in your journal, and you're wondering, why can't I start the missions? Why can't I play the Discovery missions? Well, that's because you need to probably play the Gamma Quadrant missions first. You probably haven't finished them all or played them all, and so you're not going to get that unlock of the storyline until you finish the Gamma Quadrant storyline. So that's a thing, so keep that in mind. And remember, as an in-game character that's not a Discovery faction, you're basically just like playing these missions on a holodeck. They are a recreation of the mission. But the first mission is called Secrets. It says, investigate a Federation science station that recently went out of contact. And then you've got Downfall, defend Starbase 1 from Klingon attacks. So those are 2 missions, and then you come to this, which is Task Force Operations. Now this is not a mission. This is how you're going to be introduced to the Task Force Operations. Now you don't have to do that to get to them. All you have to do is open up your PvE Task Force Operations tab, just like you used to play these Task Force Operations. But this will kind of introduce you to it and maybe give you some extra rewards if you select it. But that's all that this is. So this isn't a mission per se. This is just an introduction to the TFOs. So there are only 2 Age of Discovery missions to play: Secrets and Downfall. So whether you are the Discovery, quote, faction, or you are an end-game character and you just want to play those Discovery missions, there are only 2 right now, which again makes it feel a little incomplete to me. Now, they have said there's going to be more missions coming in the next several months. That's great, but they're not here now. So it's an incomplete experience. It almost makes you think, should you even start a Discovery character right now, knowing that these are the only 2 missions available and that there's more coming, but they're just not there yet? Because it's an incomplete experience without those missions. And that's really a conundrum, isn't it? And that's what makes this whole thing kind of feel incomplete. There's not enough alien species for the faction. There's not enough missions. Even the TOS faction had way more missions than this to play when it first came out. But this only has 2. There's just 2. That is just not good enough. Not good enough at all. It seems like they tried to rush this update out. And it seems like it's not ready to come out yet. It seems like if they could have held it back till January, wait for Season 2 of Discovery to start, then they would have all the content finished and could release it all at once. Imagine, instead of 2 missions, you had 5 or 6 missions released all at the same time. Then it would feel complete. But right now, it doesn't feel complete. But anyway, I digress. Again, this is what is available right now. So if you're wondering what you can do right now, this is pretty much it. You can play Secrets and you can play Downfall as a Discovery character or as a regular in-game character. Those are the 2 missions you can play, and then you can start the task force operations. And again, if you do not have the option to play them, you probably need to play your Gamma Quadrant missions first, and then you will. So real quick, let's look under what's new in Age of Discovery. This is just a quick rundown of what is new in the game. Age of Discovery is now available. This new update is just the beginning of a new story arc involving the Discovery era of 2256. Okay, there's our specific year. I was wondering what the year was. So now we know. It is 2256. That's the correct year. Create a new Discovery era captain, play through a new tutorial and 2 new episodes, so it even says right there it's just 2, fight in a new task force operation, and expand your reputations to tier 6, and more. So that is the gist of it. Task force operations, tier 6 reputations, a new playable Discovery era tutorial, and 2 new missions. That's it. Now, is there more coming? Absolutely, but it's not here yet. It even says this is the beginning of a new story arc. So it's the beginning of the story arc, but does it feel like it's just too soon? They're just not ready yet? I would like to them have waited to, give us the story arc when it's completed so that we can get it all at once. But anyway, Discovery era Federation faction. Players will be able to create a Discovery era captain in the year 2256 after the battle at the Binary Stars. Join Cadet Tilly in a new tutorial only available to this faction. Okay, they are calling it a faction. Defend Corvin 2 from a Klingon attack at the beginning of the war. That's it. A new arc has been added to the journal named Age of Discovery. This will include 2 brand new episodes available for all factions. So all factions can play the episodes. For Discovery era captains, this arc will be at the beginning of progression. All other factions will see this arc located after the Gamma Quadrant arc. Streamline Mission Journal. We have streamlined the Mission Journal for all factions to focus more on key storylines. The largest changes are for the Federation factions. Included in this, many TFOs will unlock at lower levels to have access to play earlier in progression. You've got the Random Task Force Operations System. Queues are now called Task Force Operations, or TFOs. This new system will allow players to queue up for a random set of TFOs, and upon completion of the TFO, will receive bonus rewards on top of the existing rewards for that TFO. Defense of Starbase 1 TFO. This is a new cross-faction space TFO that will take the players through a historical simulation to help fend off the attack on Starbase 1 by the Klingons of 2256. And then reputation extension. All reputations have been extended to tier 6 and include upgrades to existing weapons and traits as well as new rewards. And so that is what we're getting in, I guess, this part 1 of Age of Discovery. Will there be more? Yes, I grant them the fact that there will be more. They even say it. That's good, because this is not a lot for a big update. But I just wish they had waited until they got it all finished, you know, and then released it as one big update, rather than this tiered approach, or this I don't know what you would call it, but you know, this approach where they're going to give us just a little bit now, and then just kind of every month give us a little bit more and a little bit more until they finally have it finished. In my opinion, they should have waited till Season 2 started in January, and by then they could have been done with everything and released it as one huge package. That would have been a lot more welcomed, I think. Because then there would be a lot more to do, and you could spend a lot more time in there and do things. As it is now, I am going to start my Discovery playthrough, but, you know, I'm only going to have 2 missions. And I know there's more coming, so I will feel like it's incomplete. I just know that that's how I'll feel, because I know there's going to be more. I'll know that when I get to the end of those 2 missions, it'll be like, well, now what? So we'll see. Anyway, okay. So those are the new things in Star Trek Online, Age of Discovery. So, we've been over creating the new Discovery faction. You can do that. We've been over that you can go to the mission journal and play the 2 new missions, Age of Discovery missions. And in fact, let's go ahead now and look at that mission journal. So here is the new mission journal, and remember, I did a comparison of this mission journal and Tribble previously, on Tribble, to show what it looked like previously compared to what they were going to make now. And it looks like what they had on Tribble is what they went with here, so not many differences. We've got the Klingon War, the Romulan Mystery, Cardassian Struggle, Borg Advance, New Romulus, Solanae, Delta Quadrant, Iconian War, Yesterday's War, Future Proof, New Frontiers, Gamma Quadrant, and Age of Discovery. Even though Age of Discovery would chronologically be way before all this. It's a little weird, isn't it? Klingon War. We got Welcome to Earth Space Dock, Stranded in Space, Diplomatic Orders, Researcher Rescue, Secret Orders, the Doomsday Device, and then you start the Task Force operations, starting with the Romulan Imperial Minefield, and then you've got the Galaxy at Large. Report to Admiral Quinn for new orders and information about trouble spots around the galaxy. So that's it. They've really shortened the Klingon War. Now, from what I understand, the missions that they have taken out, they are maybe going to put back into the game, but they're going to remaster them, change them, revamp them, update them, or whatever. They're going to change them to make it more in line with the storyline of Star Trek Online right now. So I think that some of those missions will be coming back, but again, it's this, you know, idea of like when. We don't know. There's no time frame. So right now, a new person playing the game would totally be missing all of those missions. They wouldn't even know they existed, and there's no idea when they will be put back in the game. See, if it were me and I were making this decision, I would have left the missions in the game until I had the replacements done. I would wait until I had the replacements revamped and done and ready before I took them out and switched them for the new ones. I would, you know, have all my missions done, revamped, and then I would take those missions out and put in the new revamped ones. I would wait until I was done to remove those missions, but instead what they've done is just remove them, and we are just waiting and hanging on a limb, waiting, and have no idea when the new missions will be put back in. And that's what I don't like. It's like removing content that while new players play the game right now, they will never experience that content, because they may play this game only once and put it down, never play it again. And they're not going to have the experience of those missions because they're just not in the game anymore. I think that's the wrong way to do it. I think you should get your fix done first and then switch things when it's all done. That way you're not missing anything. So another one of those decisions they make that I kind of disagree with. We got the Romulan Mystery, Heading Out, Empress Sela, Desperate Measures, Shadowplay, Taurus, then the Task Force Operations Romulan Mystery, The Vault, Mine Enemy, Frozen, Coliseum, Cutting the Cord, and Darkness Before Dawn. That's all pretty good. We got Cardassian Struggle, Lost and Found, Spoils of War, Jabberwocky, The Factory, The New Link, and then the Task Force Operations Cardassian Struggle. They took out the whole featured episode series of the 2800, completely gone. Now some of the missions are not coming back into the storyline. Some of the missions are now what are called optionals and are not going to be part of the storyline. You have to go find them, which again, if you're a new player, how would you even know? Borg Advance, we've got a report on Borg activities, where Angels Fear to Tread, A Gathering Darkness, Assimilation, Fluid Dynamics, and the Borg Advance. New Romulus, we have those. This is pretty much the same as we saw on Tribble. And yeah, it looks like I am missing buttons, and I don't know if that's because I need to finish something before. No, look, Solanae is I don't know what the deal is here. Maybe it's a bug with these missing options, because Solanae to me is completely grayed out. I don't even have any hails or skips or nothing on this, and I've played these missions before. This character has finished these missions, Surface Tension, all of these. I've done these on this character, so I don't know what the deal is. Maybe I have to start way back here under the Klingon War and hail the Task Force Operations.
We have a large number of operations going on in various parts of the galaxy.
Maybe I need to hail these Task Force Operations and play them as you're supposed to in order, and then finish the galaxy at large. It looks like I have to finish Romulan Imperial Minefield before I can do the galaxy at large. And then maybe this will open up and I can do this, and then maybe that opens up other things. Maybe I need to hail this one too. And then Darkness Before the Dawn, I need to... No, this one says mission cannot be replayed. Some of these are not replayable anyway. Okay, so let's go back here for a second. Yeah, see, I need to contact him, but I can't even contact him because I don't have a button for it. So maybe I have to do this TFO first, and then I can do the galaxy at large, and that will clear that out. And then... yeah, maybe I need to do the TFO Cardassian Struggle, and I just need to do all these that say hail. The Task Force Operation Borg Advance, and then under this one it looks like I need to do the TFO New Romulus, and then maybe once I do all of those, then maybe this will open back up. Contact Mission Simulator. Contact Mission Simulator. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what, man. Some of this is a little confusing, but I guess we'll figure it out. What I'm going to do is I am going to play those TFOs in order. I'm going to see if anything else opens up. We got the Delta Quadrant. Iconian War missions. Iconian War seems a lot smaller. I'm not sure. Yesterday's War. They put Temporal Ambassador under here. Future Proof missions. New Frontier missions. Then the Gamma Quadrant. And then Age of Discovery. So that's the new episode layout. We're going to have to get used to that. Wasteland, completely gone. But I think if we go to the Available tab, some of those things can be found here. It's just very messy. I mean, we do have Cold Call, Cold Case, Cold Comfort, Cold Storage out in the cold. So the So the Cold War stuff is still there. You see, oh, the 2800 is, okay, these things are still here. So Cold War, yeah, we got Cold Call, Cold Case, Cold... I just don't understand why they move this out of the episodes menu. Why move these missions out of the episodes menu and under the available? Okay, the missions are still there, good. But why move them from the episodes to available? I don't understand it. I do not understand it. What's the difference? If they're still there and you can still play them in the same order, and I guess you would get the same rewards. Let's see. Yeah, you still get the same rewards. That's how you get your parabolic deflect. That's how you get your Breen set. If this is all still the same, why move it out of the episodes menu? That's so stupid. Stupid. Then you got the 2800 Boldly They Road facility.
The Federation Council.
It's all still here. It's just, it's actually out of order though. Second wave should be first. Boldly They Road should be last. This is out of order. Then you got Spectres. Spectres, see, this is also out of order. See, here's the thing. Okay, they moved it here, but they're out of order. Look, Skirmish should be first. And then Spin the Wheel. And then I think What Lies Beneath. And then Everything Old is New. And then Night of the Comet. So if somebody was new playing this game and they never played it before, and they went with the order presented here under Available, it's going to be the wrong order. The missions won't make sense because you know how they're kind of tied into each other, right? You play one and then you learn something in the next mission that you learned from the first one, and it connects to the second and the next and the next. These are connectable missions, but they're being shown out of order in under Available. These are probably out of order too. So what ends up happening is you play them out of order, and that's no fun. It's a lot more fun to play them in order. Holy crap, this just doesn't make sense to me. These missions are here, but they're out of order. Why not just leave them in the episodes? Oh man, or make a separate. You know how this says Klingon War and this says Romulan Mystery and Cardassian Struggle? Why not just make one called Cold War? Put it there, and that's those Breen missions. Then you make one called Lost Dominion, the 2800, and you put a thing here, Lost Dominion, the 2800, and you put those missions here, and then you put Spectres, and you put all 5 of those missions under a thing called Spectres. Why not? Why do it this way? Why move them to Available? Because first of all, if you're new to the game, you're probably not ever going to even click on the Available tab. You're going to miss them altogether. You're not even going to know that they're there. Second, if you do find them, good for you, but hey, guess what? You're going to play them out of order because they're being shown in the wrong order. So the experience is going to be ruined already. I don't understand. If you could put them under the episodes in tabs like I just said, then they could be in order and it could be part of the gameplay, and we wouldn't have to come over here to Available to play those featured episodes. I just don't get it. That's so dumb. It is dumb. Dumb, 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 dumb. Breaking the Planet, The Big Dig Daily, Cold War, Lost Dominion, Spectres. Oh, so now, okay, that even more confusing. You got the individual missions here, but you have like their overall arc that you would click here.
We've received reports of strange events in the Eta Eridani sector, near the Donatu system. Time permit.
I mean, it's like, why do you need two ways to start the mission? Why not just one way? That's so confusing for people. Here's the TFOs. Look, Spectres is there again. What? Spectres was up here and down there. No, that's a different thing.
We've received reports of strange events in the Eta Eridani.
Oh man, I don't know. It's confusing, isn't it? It's still got aiding the Deferi, emancipation, rescue Deferi captives. I used to do those dailies all the time. Then okay, here's the Kabali crisis stuff. Oh yeah, where's Wasteland? Wait a minute, Wasteland's not even. There's nothing of Wasteland here. Kabali crisis, Act 1, 2, 3. Nothing. There's no Wasteland. Wasteland is completely removed and doesn't even exist. And will it come back? I don't know, but it's not under available. And it's not under episode. So I loved the Wasteland story arc, and I loved spending the time on Nimbus, and I loved going there and doing all those little found missions and all those little accolades and dilithium and stuff you get, like killing the big bug and killing the chief engineer Gorn, and you know, all those things that you could do down there. It was kind of fun to do all that. It's not here. Wasteland, gone, 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 gone. I don't like this at all. This is dumb. This is pure dumb. Well, that's the new mission layout, everybody. As dumb as it is. What else is dumb? Let's find out. Ah, yes. Tier 6. So, our reputations now go up to Tier 6. Yay, more grinding. So, here's what I found out. This tells you, of course, how much reputation points you have spent. 102,125 currently for me on Task Force Omega. And that, of course, got me to Tier 5. But now, look, we've got a Tier 6 option. And it requires 250,000 reputation. Wow. And you only get 5,000 max for these reputations. So do the math there. 250,000, 102,000 to 250,000 at 5,000 apiece. You know, how many months is that going to take you to do? It's going to be a while before you get to Tier 6. It's going to be a long while. But as you can see, I have started projects on all of mine. So just like you did before, you would start, you know, the project, the daily project, to earn your marks, or to earn your reputation points, so that you can get each one up to Tier 6. And then if you click on the Tier 6 icon on each reputation, you will see what it gives you. So for example, Task Force Omega is going to give you rank 2 of all of your passive traits here. It's going to be improved. So this is like, you know, improved hit point regen, improved bonus all energy, bonus all melee, improved stats on all of your passive abilities. And then when you scroll down the bottom, it will show you what new things unlock at Tier 6. I'm going to get, of course, the rank 2 reputation passives. I'm going to get the Tier 6 unlock on Reputation Flourish social zone ability. I'm going to get a plus 2% bonus damage for set weapons from this reputation. And then I'm going to get some new items. I'm going to get a very rare purple Mark 12 alternate energy type weapon, space and ground set. I'm going to get a vanity shield color variant. I'm going to get an account-wide gear discount for this reputation. I'm going to get a fleet ship module and a captain skills retrain token. And so each of these has those. So Nukara, you're going to get rank 2 on your passive abilities. You're going to get alternate energy type weapons, vanity shield color. So pretty much the same thing here. Oh, this one has new equipment, new Romulus. You're going to get, no, never mind, that was Tier 1. Haha, fooled you. Alright, you're getting same thing, yeah, alternate energy type weapons, vanity shield color variant, account-wide gear discount, fleet module, captain skill retrain token. And then all of your abilities are going to go to rank 2. So you're going to have improved traits. So that is what you get out of this. And I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure what that alternate energy type weapon means. I'm not sure what that is. I mean, I'll find out for sure, you know, once I unlock it, but right now I don't know what that is, so that'll be interesting. But they're all the same in that way. And then I wonder if the stores... Nah, there's really nothing different here. So anyway, that's the tier 6 reputation. If you've got, you know, you got a lot of grinding to do basically to get that. But that is one of the new things you can do in Age of Discovery, is grind away your reputation for tier 6. And finally we come to the task force operations, as this is now called. Basically it's all still the same. If you go to all here, you'll see, like, if you want to play Azure Nebula Rescue, then, you know, do that, select the level you want, and queue for it. That's all you have to do. So you can play whichever task force operation you want. Still, that's still an option. You can still play. You can still play them all individually. But if you want to join the new random system, it's right here at the top, and all you have to do, and the only selection you have to make, is if you want to play in the normal difficulty or the advanced difficulty. You just select your difficulty. That's normal, that's advanced. That means you're going to put into an advanced run when you click this, or if you click this, you'll be put in a normal run. So select your difficulty and then hit join random. I'm not going to do it right now, but I will come back and do a run through of random in the future. I will do a whole playthrough of a couple of times and just show you how it works and do it. But that's how you do it. You just basically click the difficulty you want and then join random, and then it's going to throw you in a random task force operation. And it can be either ground or space, and you will not know which one it's going to be. So be ready to do ground combat, and be ready to do space combat. That means you need to have a good ground build if you're going to do random, and you need to have a good space build. You need to be good on ground and space so that you can help your team, because it will put you into any task force operation. Well, I say any. Actually, there are some it will not put you in. There's a list, but they don't want to share that list. That's right. Cryptic has a list of the task force operations that do not spawn as random, but they're not going to give that list away for some reason. But there are certain ones that will not pop up. But pretty much ground or space can pop up. So be ready to go into combat on space or ground. And be sure you know that you're well suited to do advanced if you choose advanced. Otherwise, go with the normal. If you know you don't have a good build and you're going to be a hindrance for your team, then go with normal. But if you got a good build on ground and space, advanced will of course give you better rewards. And then you just hit join random and it will pop up, and you hit accept just like normal, and that's all you have to do. And again, you may be put into a task force operation you've never played before. So make sure you learn how to play it. Make sure you're doing it right. Make sure that you read the dialogues, read what the goal is. If you've never played it before, I suggest trying normal first. That way you can at least get a feel for what these task force operations are, something you might not have ever played. And then you can jump into advanced once you're more skilled at them. Because there are quite a bit in here, and I know that a lot of people just gave up on certain ones and so forth. Now, down here, you can filter this list by ground or space. So if I choose all ground here, all that it's going to show me in this list is ground. It's not going to mean that when I join a random, I'm going to hit ground. Not at all. This is only for the individual plays. So if I just am looking for a ground playthrough, and then I want to start that, that's how that works. Or I want just a space playthrough, and so I choose that, and I choose that one. That's all that filter does. This filter does not affect the random, and neither does this difficulty. You've got normal, advanced, and elite. So you can only play elite levels under the individual system, but you cannot have elite under the random. So just know that this filter here only applies to these individual missions, does not apply to the random stuff. The only thing that applies to the random stuff is this difficulty selector right here. So keep that in mind for when you do things. And pretty much otherwise the UI is very similar to how it was before. And you will notice red alerts are gone. No more red alerts, except when Cryptic wants you to have red alerts. There will be red alert weekends where they put up certain red alerts, but otherwise the Borg red alert, the Tholian red alert, the Zenkethi red alert, they are gone until Cryptic deems that they are ready for you to play them. But you do still have some of the other things here. I believe Crystalline Catastrophe is still here, so you got that one to do. And a lot of these are all still here. Really, it's just those red alerts that have been removed, but everything else is still here. So that's all there. Otherwise, I'm just trying to think. That's like pretty much it. That's like Age of Discovery in a nutshell. That is what you can do with Age of Discovery. There is something I want to check out. Because Wasteland is gone, I wonder if we can physically fly to the Wasteland Nimbus and start it that way. Because I really hate that that one is completely gone with no option to play it at all. That bugs me. That bugs me a lot. So I just want to fly really quick to Nimbus up here. And I just want to see if you can start it from going to the planet or not. So here's Nimbus. We can still enter the system. Let's see what happens. See if we can beam down to it. We can beam to Nimbus. But let's see if we can start any missions on Nimbus. It's all still here, which is good news. Okay, so that stuff is still there, and you can do that stuff, so that's cool. Okay, so that actually works. Those little missions you can do here on Nimbus still work. Thank goodness for that. But again, if you're new to the game, you would have no idea that this was here and that you could do that. Let's see if we can go to Horace Jones.
Hey there,
nope. No way to start missions.
If you need...
See, all the Wasteland missions are not here. And if we go to the Available tab, yeah, there is no Wasteland stuff. Oh, no, wait. No, that's Storm Clouds Gathered. Never mind. Nope, 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 nope. Nothing. Survivor, Trialis. Yeah, nothing here at all for Wasteland. That's a bummer, man. That's a real bummer. There are no missions here. Wow. Well, that royally sucks. So Wasteland is just not a thing anymore, and I really, really dislike that. So let's just recap as I end this video here. The mission list has been changed. The mission journal has been changed quite a bit. The featured episodes are actually available under Available, but they are out of order, so you wouldn't know what order to play them in if you're new. You also wouldn't even know that they're here and what they are. Why they just can't put them under episodes, I don't know. They've removed Wasteland altogether, and that doesn't make sense. And there's no way to start any missions with it. And they've also removed other missions, like under the Klingon War, that supposedly they're going to put back into the game, but no telling when they will be ready. It could be a year, you know. We don't know. I would have done it differently. I would have waited until those missions were ready and finished, and then swapped them out. That way you're not missing content in the interim. So that is that. And then as for the Discovery stuff, as I said at the beginning, I just feel that it's incomplete. Knowing that there's going to be more missions, knowing there's going to be more content related to Discovery and to the Discovery era playthrough, it makes me feel as if I should maybe wait to play the Discovery era stuff. It's like, why play it now knowing that it's incomplete and that there are more missions to come? Because there are only 2 missions when I play it. There's the tutorial and then 2 missions, and then I'm done with it. You know, by the time that I keep playing it, I'll probably end up leveling up my character to max level before they even release the new missions. So what's the point? That experience isn't there. It's incomplete. Completely incomplete. So I just don't know. It's just not... I would have waited. This is not ready. The Age of Discovery update in Star Trek Online is not ready. It needs more time in the oven. It needs to wait and be released in January when Season 2 of Star Trek Discovery comes out, so that all of the Discovery era missions can be finished and put in, so that when you start your new Discovery era character, you will have all the missions to play at that point. Rather than right now, all you have is 2, and you're done. Kind of makes me mad. Kind of makes me upset. And it just feels wholly unfinished and rushed. And I know I'm very harsh about that. And I apologize to those that think I'm being extremely negative here. But I have been playing Star Trek Online since open beta, 8+ years. I have the time and the history and the experience in this game, and I want to see it grow, and I want to see it better itself. But I gotta call a spade a spade. If I see something that needs improvement, or I see where mistakes have been made, or decisions that don't make sense have been made, I have to call that out. And that's what I'm doing here now. I think that the Age of Discovery update could be epic. I think it could be epic. I think it could be very big for this game. Lock in step with a Star Trek show, as much as you may like or dislike it. But it's out too early. It's out at the wrong time. It needs more time in the oven. They need to get it all finished before releasing it. It feels like they've released it haphazardly, rushed. They wanted to get it out there as quickly as possible and are releasing it in stages instead of releasing it all at once when it's done. And so that makes the first experience of it feel very incomplete. That is my honest to goodness reaction, feeling, opinion of it right now. Now, will I play it all? Absolutely, I will play it all. I am going to make a video playing a new Discovery era character. I'm going to play the tutorial. I'm going to play the 2 new missions as a Discovery era character. And I'm going to record that for you on YouTube and show you all that experience. I'm going to go through the experience and we will see what that's like. I will absolutely do that. I'm also going to play the new Task Force Operations stuff and make videos on that. I'm also going to do the random Task Force operation and show you how that works and make videos on that. I am also going to play the Discovery era missions or Discovery storyline missions as an in-game level 65 character and do it from that perspective and show you that. I am also going to continue working on my Tier 6 reputations and unlock Tier 6 on all of them. And then once I get them unlocked, I will show you what the Tier 6 reputations look like. I can't do that, of course, until I grind them all, and that's going to take a very long time. But once I get to that point, I will show you all the Tier 6 reputation stuff that it has available. So I will show you that. Any new missions that come out, I will show you those. And anything else that I can find that's new or different with Age of Discovery, I will make a video on it. So expect many, many, many new videos on Age of Discovery. I'm fully going to cover it, and I'm going to keep an open mind, and I will judge it and give you my honest reactions on how I feel it connects to the game. And expect that. I will be doing that. At the same time, I have to give criticism on the things that I am critical of. And I think a lot of the move around with the missions, the way they've done remove stuff and put it in a different place, doesn't make sense. And it's cool that they're going to revamp some of the missions and put them back in. I just would have waited and done that all at the same time rather than just ripping out the old ones and leaving it blank. Just means there's less content for new people that are playing right now. And you have to think about the new players, because somebody playing this game for the first time may be literally playing it for the first time, and they only may play it now, and then after they're done or hit end-game, they quit and never play it again, and that will be their only experience of Star Trek Online. So if that content is missing, they will never experience that content. So that's why I don't agree with removing content until you have the new fixed content ready to put in its place. That's how I feel. I just feel that's smart. But the way they're doing it now is not smart. Anyway, that is my overall feelings so far on Age of Discovery, and that is what I have found so far to be new in Age of Discovery. And you are welcome to go in and experience it yourself and let me know in the comments what you think of Age of Discovery. I am highly looking forward to your comments, because these are just my opinions. You may agree with them, you may disagree with them, we may have differing opinions, and that's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. We all look at things and view things differently, and that is fine. So thank you all for watching this video, and do expect lots more videos on Age of Discovery, because I'm going to do a lot more of the playthrough with it. So Just stay tuned to the channel, subscribe, like, hit the bell icon for updates. You know what to do. I'm going to be bringing you more Age of Discovery in Star Trek Online. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.